Salutations everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Sunless Sea. I'm your host, BrainBoy20, and when we had last left off, we had found our favorite location of Station 3, gained our payment, and are now shoving off further into the deep Black Sea. We're heading towards Shepherd's Isle this time around, as we're trying to hunt down Gaider's mourn, which has basically been our consistent quest. Shepherd's Isle should be around here somewhere. Now, while we can do things like murder off some of the easier Z creatures just because we're so strong at this point, I really wouldn't risk it if I could avoid it. As I don't really need to take any more hull damage than I already have taken. And it will gain a few secrets. Hopefully, with the discovery of Shepherd's Isle, we can get Gaider's mourn somewhere. Or can we find the Corsair's forest so I can be in the correct area? And I know I'm being silent right now, but stretching and talking do not mix with my biology, and it really hurts. Anyway, Shepherd's Isle. Sheep, lichen, standing stones. Of course, the bearded watchman tells you, there are no actual shepherds on Shepherd's Isle. Sheep are mostly illegal here. No, instead, it's just the name of the gentleman that founded the islands. Greybeard sitting in the village square nods solemnly. No sheep, one says, but plenty o' tales. Ask us anything. Compile a port report. Oh yes, yes, there's been going on. In the bleak light of the false stars, surfaces rolling like a porridge pot, up with a roar of steam and a flash of fire, 3 windows swimming, tentacles, and then we saw His Highness. There's rather a lot of this material. There's nothing else here, so let's just leave. I did end up coming here just slightly too early. That's not a big issue to me. Hopefully we can find something else. To the north, then. Maybe we'll find absolutely something. Oh, the frogs! This place, I don't remember what this place is called. Discovered wisdom. Why didn't you show up? Because you're clearly a doc. Nup Mid Harbor. I guess we'll just stick around, discover a few islands, and then head into the main dock in a second, because I'd like to get a random event, because I actually don't remember this place. It could be the Underwater Grove, but I highly doubt that this is the place of the Drownies that we had found on the previous episode, but never really explored, considering Salt's curse kind of screwed me over. I have my officers, right? Yes. Wisdom. The prison walls are mercilessly steep. Nupmit built this place as a prison for the Khanate. Nupmit built this place as a prison for the Khanate. Now it only answers to its governor, and its governor answers to no one. Oh no, we'll pay you, the unctuous fellow says. We could always find another use for another pair of hands. We get lonely, you know. Lonely. Exchange a secret for a prisoner. Wisdom has many, many secrets, far more than one might expect to glean from the prisoners. But a discerning scholar might identify a secret which would tempt even the governor of the prison. This is unlikely to be profitable unless you have someone specific in mind. Compile a port report. Watch the comings and goings. Ransom a prisoner. Wisdom will release prisoners on payment of an eye-wateringly high redemption fee. It's not entirely clear whether this constitutes bribery or a legal instance of Khanate again mercy. This is unlikely to be profitable unless you have someone specific in mind. Oh dear God! Rescue a prisoner. Scale the walls, enter through the outflowing pipes, evade the guards, secure your rescuee without raising any alarms, don't get eaten by giant toads. You only get one chance at this. It's unlikely to be profitable unless you have someone specific in mind. Congratulations, port report. Ships from the Khanate are most common, but you see cellar chilling
Chelenite vessels, polythreme triremes with chained and sulky unfinished men, corsairs disposing of their miscreants, even one furtive skiff. The wardens pay them well for their prisoners. Interesting. Never visited Wisdom before, and I've never actually seen this place. Let's see if we can find something else. The Sea of Lilies. I believe that's where the underground section is. Peterson's Rift? Oh, hi. That's a caged shark. Let's not touch that with a 10-foot pole if we can avoid it. And there's the Sea of Lilies. No, that's the caged shark. What the heck was the other thing? Okay, I'm gonna make sure you're in between me and whatever else. What the heck? I should get out of here. Because those things are fast, and I remember all too well that they hurt. Fed the crew. Alright. I guess I'll make the ending of this to a visit to Mount Palmerston. Not the ending of this video. Oh, no. That's tremendously short. Far too short. No, we're visiting Mount Palmerston. Well, we're visiting Mount Palmerston for one, the awesome music, and because I always liked the Devils. I mean, certainly the captain of this vessel, Pudero, wouldn't, but, well, he's got no choice in this matter. So, please tell me, what does Port Palmerston contain? Brimstone. Always brimstone. Go up to the crater. They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but the road to the Brimstone Convention is paved with cinders. Up the road. Do they admit visitors to the Brimstone Convention? Probably not, but you never know. They might sell tickets. Above the bay. Look down and see Port Palmerston like a toy and the ruins like gravel. You've come far, but the volcano's cone still rears above you. Rest a little before you go the last half mile. The Wistful Deviless. The road to the crater ends at the brass gate in the crater wall. Beside it stands an oddly charming little cottage. It's thrown together from the pumice and basalt, but it features honeysuckle. An equally charming Deviless in a tea gown leans against the cottage wall, twirling a parasol and fanning herself. I am the guardian of this place, she remarks languidly. You may not pass, but can I offer you a cup of familiarity? Tea with the Deviless? Familiari? That's not one of the poisonous ones, is it? You're pretty sure it's not. No thank you. You haven't brought a sufficiently long spoon, perhaps. It can't be poisonous. Terror in a tea gown? No doubt she'd be much less pleasant if you tried to break down that gate, but just now she's a courteous, soft-voiced woman in a tea gown. The tea is hot and nutty and rather pleasant. She asks about your voyages. She's desperate for news of London, and its mists, its nights, its sick, its poor, its fires. She tactfully turns aside questions about the convention, but she shares some of the secrets of the Neath. Come and see me again, she says. Next time you're here, she shrugs gracefully. Bring me a present, if you like. Mount Palmerston. Sullen lights glow green at the jetty's edge. Ooh, engage an officer, the merciless Modiste. Ah yes, you will do nicely. I need a ship, dear heart, and I rather flatter myself that you need me. Iron veils and hearts? Oh. This is one of the new ones that they added. And, might I say, expensive. Let's chat with the port folk about the Brimstone Convention. There was a revolution in hell, and the aristocracy of the devils fled here. Here they plot an exile. A shrug and a curse. They don't do us any harm. They stay up there, and we stay down here. If hell's fighting itself, that's good for us all, isn't it?
Well, one might say that it might be awful for us. Who's to say the victor wouldn't be outrageously strong? I mean, if you have to overpower all the other devils, either in wiles or in strength. Perhaps they might even have a unifying force. But we'll leave those thoughts for now. Let's dig among the ruins. A cellar full of bones. How many of them died down here? You could bury them in the ash, but they're so choked and jumbled, you might as well leave them here below. The whole island is the unholiest imaginable ground anyway. At least you have souvenirs. 3 grinning skulls and a caravan-crossed crooked cross. 10 terror, 3 lamentable relics, and 1 memory of a distant shore. Let's leave before we go insane, shall we? Looks like we're definitely not finding Gaider's mourn, but the port reports we've acquired now more than make up for it. Dare I say, I think I'd be more interested in returning to London at this point. Although if we do stop by the cursed church, well, I wouldn't mind it. I've recently been redoing the Lone Wolf series in my spare time of game books. Interesting game books. Yeah, you can find them online at Project Aeon, but I still hate like anything involving instant death. And currently right now I'm doing my best to avoid that in everything I do. And okay, we didn't see that. We did not see that at all. Let's just go on. Like, the Z swallows ships at random, and I just hope that doesn't happen to us. Z-bats cry out. They are nothing like birds. But we're underground. I highly doubt we're going to encounter it. Oh, we found this place. Excellent. Well, I mean, now might as well be the time. Let's speak to our lovely first officer. The Z, Captain. Look at it. Out there. It's not our friend, don't forget that. I could proposition a sly navigator, apparently, but what do you want? What do you seek at Z? The Z is enough, but now that you mention it, I've always had a desire to see Frostfound, the place where the Z rises to become a castle. The place where questions and riddles do battle for truth. He sighs dreamily, but he is watching you carefully. Yes, Frostfound. Well, the reason I did ask him about this is, Breach is a herald for Frostfound. So, Stoddard's Haven, which this is Frostfound. They won't actually tell you it's Frostfound, but trust me, this place is Frostfound. Frostfound, Frostfound, Frostfound. And I do say that I think there was a really, really good event that happened when you bring him here. That's our holds contain. Not much, but there's some really nice things that can also happen in Frostfound, so let's see what we get. Frostfound. Towers and ramps and galleries and stairs of ice, raised and spun like an architect's honey dream. No spider ever wove so complex a web. The towers are utterly pristine, untouched by human life, but a pitiable encampment squats by the docks. We can take tea with the squatters of the docks. Some of them wear the robes of Iremi riddle fishers. Some look like withering folk, but even more ragged. But they do seem a little more practical than either of those people. Ask the squatters about the castle. You notice they directly avoid looking at it. Enter Frostfound itself. As long as the stairs rises glistening to a sheer tower. I can read. A long flight of stairs rises glistening to a sheer tower. There is no door. Your reflection hangs in the cloudy ice. You cannot enter Frostfound if your terror is greater than 20, and you should not enter Frostfound without a good reason. And allow the sly navigator to examine the tower. He climbs the steps, panting eagerly. This is the Z, you see, he calls back. The Z risen to become land. Ice, the soul of the Z.
In ice we find the Gaider most exemplary, and he's off again. We leave him to examine the tower, stirring up the battlements, his breath dragon huffing. And we'll create a port first. Bickering amiably. Not all our enemy are withering. There's the odd researcher, the occasional deranged ice sculptor, now and then a very cold, very sad robbery man, but for the most part, an atmosphere of friendly rivalry reigns. And we shall let the sly navigator do his business. Where is he? Only a few minutes later you glance back, and the navigator is gone. You climb the steps to examine the spot where you last saw him. His coat lies in the snow. His footprints end at the tower wall. You poke through his coat and find a brass telescope from the Carnate, a much annotated chart, tobacco, an alarming quantity of lice, but the navigator is gone. You never see him again. We've gained an outlandish artifact and a revelatory chart. And we'll take some tea with the docs because, well, we just kind of lost a friend of ours. A surprisingly warm welcome. We're keeping the steps for the games of truth. The game of truths, a healthful riddle fisher explains as she fills your cup for the third time. Every year the people of Irem and Wither meet here for, she pauses, contests, she finished vaguely. The difference between a question and a riddle. One day someone will prove themselves enough to enter the castle. You spend a few pleasant hours, while the tea is supplementary with Iremi liquors, pale Withering beer, and something the riddle fishers describe blandly as snake cake. They offer you fuel and supplies before you leave. We keep enough to spare, the riddle fisher grins. From time to time the captain gets lost and comes up here, and we always feel bad for them. Well, I'll tell you this first and foremost. This was no mere accident. Ooh, quick question. How far away are we from everything else? Yes, I know of Frostbound. Unless I need to discover it, in which case, really. I wish it would auto-discover the island if you're on it. Teneb. I don't remember if there's actually a place that I care about. I'm gonna go around Datholi's Rage, and let's head to Pigmote Isle again. Do I have the port of Pigmote Isle? Hold up a second. Hold up. One revelatory chart. Port. But we don't have Pigmote Isle. Interesting. Oh wait, maybe we do and I just missed it. And we still have the Invictus token. Good for us. Well, good for me, because I'm an achievement hunter. My friends know I'm a massive achievement hunter, especially if achievements are... Wow, why are there two vortexes right next to each other? The Kissigar Vortex and Dathuli's Rage. This must be the Void's approach. The air crackles with frosty radiations. To the north, the false stars fail in the darkness. As much as I would love to not waste any more time, a completed map is worth a lot more underneath. We shall visit the Chapel of Lights. Admittedly, though, the one person that we have that could be of use in the Chapel of Lights is currently... Well, we don't have the resources required to make him useful. So let's see what goes on here. Do you hear music? Furtive faithful gather in the shadows beneath the many, many candles. A bell toll in the chapel tower. Cracked iron laughter. Beware. The aisle is full of voices. Eat of the chapel's bounty. A smiling priest unlocks the door of the storehouse for you. Here, he says, eat, but take nothing away with you. Rich and red, they have shark steaks plucked from the sea, thin slices of cavern tuna translucent and delicate as paper, little crimson cakes flavored with cinnamon coated with poppy seeds, tomatoes impossibly ripe and sweet so far from the surface, Gorge yourself. Leave with the juices dripping from your chin. And gather intelligence. What occurs here between the darkness and the light? A smiling priest in a red cassock attends the chapel. The congregation are shy of light. They come and go in little ships. It's strangely difficult to count them all. Perhaps some of them are imaginary. Still, you know the name of a ship or two. I'm so tempted to attend a service at the chapel, but I know that lacking of supplies would be poor, and I don't think Palmerston, but Pigmoat Isle would actually give me supplies. But when we have the much larger vessel, then we shall attempt something here. And I believe we'll end today's episode by stopping off at Pigmoat Isle and seeing what else can occur there, as we're not that far from that location. Still, the Chapel of Lights is always a nice find. What we need for the Chapel of Lights, at least for the area in general, is if they have some floating candles nearby. I know that's kind of fitting for their lore for them not to have it, but still, I'd say it'd be interesting to have something of that sort. And I have to say, the map definitely makes it look like these locations are much further away from each other than you would expect. Anyway, to Pigmoat Isle. Hopefully it's something I can actually deal with. Oh my gosh. No, 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 no. Not with this low health. We're gonna stick near the edge where it can't physically follow me because it's too big. Ugh. I'm so thankful. Let's see. Purchasing skin collage is not my highest concern, but will help Caviar resolve a dilemma. Turns out I actually do have the port report. Alright, what do you need of me? A chill hangs over the chicken woods. The trees creak in the still air. The age shivers. Do you feel it, hairless advisor? They say a monster lives out here, where even our light cannot reach. Our farmers refuse to tend their mushrooms until they can be sure of reaching them in safety. We can find no trace of the beast. What can we do? Suggest raising the chicken woods? Burn the trees, leave it nowhere to hide? The best weapon against irrational fear is a good distraction. A party, perhaps. Comfort in company. The celebration takes the rodents' minds off the shadowy threat. By the warmth of a good fire, the vague unknown is no longer something to squeak at or twitch their whiskers over. It may be more bravado than actual courage, but it's the kind that lasts even after the fire has been burned down to charcoal. Wow, they have incredibly high spirit. Anyway, is there anything else here? Isle civilization for better prices. Unfortunately, I can't really do that. And the Pigmoat Isle might makes it difficult. I don't feel like doing that any further. No shops here, no shipyards, no nothing else. Well, in light of that, I think I shall end the episode here. Hope you've all enjoyed watching. This has been BrainBoy20 with Let's Play Sunless Sea, and I'm signing off. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like, comment, or subscribe, for it helps out a great deal, and I hope to see you all next time. Farewell.